Hello everyone. Today I would be giving you a small overview of the application. Logi-Sys is a completely web-based application, completely on cloud, designed using the latest technology, serving the freight forwarding and the logistics sector across the globe. This is the login screen of the application. Each user would have their own user ID and password. In turn, whatever the action user takes within the application gets recorded as part of its history or audit trail. Under the same umbrella, there might be multiple legal entities in place. This is where you can select the legal entity you need to work from. Under the same legal entity, there might be multiple branches associated. And finally, the working period, which is nothing but the financial accounting period. Click on Proceed. The application would validate and authenticate the data you have entered, and accordingly, it would take you through. So this is the home screen of the application. The application is extremely readable and very easy to use. On the left-hand side below corner, there are 5 sections. The first one is My Logi-Sys, Transactions, Reports, Directories, and Administration. So the entire application is segregated into these 5 sections. I would start with the first section, My Logi-Sys. As the name says, it is My Logi-Sys, logged in user's Logi-Sys, implying whatever the logged in user does in this section stays with him. I would start with the dashboards. Creating the dashboards is extremely easy. On the top right side corner, you can see Choose Items. You click on it, and then there are various parameters available under each section: warehousing, sales service, accounts, CE, export, import, whatever. Based on your needs, you can choose the parameters you need to reflect the information you want. Another important feature here is the alert configuration. Each individual working for you would have their own responsibilities. So based on that, the respective individual can come over here and create the alerts to enable him to avoid any delays or errors taking place. As an example, let's say an air import manager can come over here to create alerts like cargo arrival notice not dispatched. After the flight landing, the same alert can be notified via email. This way, if at all the delay takes place, on timely notification, the respective user can avoid further delays. Another important feature here from the data entry users point of view is the My Assignments. As the name says, this is where all the assignments or all the jobs or transactions assigned to the logged in user gets listed down. In turn, one can double click and navigate through the shipment or reassign it to someone else. This makes the logged in user's job much more easier. Under administration, all your administrative functionalities are available. You can set down the preferences at the system level, define users and the associated permissions. In the last section, we talked of alerts and configurations. Alerts can be considered as negative milestones defined to help you in avoiding any delays or errors. Similarly, I have here customer notifications. Customer notifications are positive milestones, which can be defined to keep your customers updated regarding the status of their shipments. As and when the milestone gets completed, automatically system would identify who the associated customer is for that shipment and send out the email notification. Report scheduler, as the name says, any kind of reports can be scheduled at a predefined time, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. Any reports, be it operational reports or financial reports, accounting reports, billing reports, whatever, you can pick and choose those reports for scheduling purpose. Under the forwarding menu, I have a very important tool termed as the tracking setup, under which for each department of yours, you can set down the processes or stages involved. Basically, this functionality is defined to help you in defining your processes and adhering to them. As an example, I have listed down few of the stages here as part of an air export department. It is completely configurable and you can define your own list of stages. As an example, let's get into one of these stages, billing. Billing stage, just double click on it. This is where you can set the dependencies, if any, on any other stages, state whether this stage is mandatory or optional, and now, more importantly, you can plan this stage. Planning can be done on various parameters like ETD, ETA, another milestone probably. Based on your requirement, you can plan it. Make it add before. Now, if at all the stage isn't completed on time as per your rules, implying if there is any delay or overdue, you can set down the notifications for activity overdue, wherein the respective user would get alerted upon. If you want to add any other user in CC, you can do that as well. Another very important feature we have here is the approval system. This functionality can be utilized in varied ways. Let me give you an example. Let me give you a scenario rather, how to utilize this feature. Let's assume that you have recently hired Miss Richa in your sales team. Initially, you may not be able to trust Richa to enter proper quotations, proper charges, or proper margins. But with this application, you can still give Richa all the permissions to create the quotation, but with a rule that whenever Richa is creating an approval is required from Pushkar. Now it doesn't matter where Pushkar is. He might be in office, at airport, or he might be on a vacation. But still, he would get the notification on his mobile, and in turn, he can review the quotation that Richa has created and approve it or reject it, or maybe alter it himself. Now this example I gave you is from the quotations point of view. But in reality, any action being performed into the system can be set up for an approval rule, right? You can also have multiple approvers added. Instead of Pushkar, add a couple of more approvers. You can add multiple stages within the approval system. Any action performed can be approved, right from the organization creation, invoicing, payments, shipment creation. Payments can also be governed in terms of an amount, as in, let's say, an amount of more than 5,000 USD, and approval is required from Pushkar. Less than that, Richa can do it herself. Moving further, let's get into the directories section. This is where your entire master gets stored, right from your organizations, charges, chart of accounts, ports, etc. Under organization master, you can see there are few organizations which are highlighted in red. These are the ones which haven't been yet approved, implying some user have created these organizations, but the respective approver haven't yet approved it. Now let me just double click an existing organization. Let's move into Dell. This is how the organization screen looks like. You can define the name of the organization, define the role what the organization is playing, be it the shipper, consignee, carrier, agent, whatever. You can state down the multiple addresses the organization may hold. You can assign a salesperson to this organization as well as a collection executive. Assigning salesperson is important, as in it also helps you in evaluating the salesperson performance after every quarter, month, week, after 6 months, whatever, based on your requirements. Overall, all the accounting transactions for Dell then gets assigned against the respective salesperson. Further, we would move into the account managers. This is where you can state down your account managers for each of your department, air, ocean department. You can state down your contact information that you have against Dell. one or multiple. This would help you in sending out those automated job notifications to the respective contact persons. Or even if you want to send out emails from the application, you can do that. Under accounting, you can set down your credit limits. Under notes, you can state down your notes. If you want to attach any documents supporting those notes, you can do that as well. And the last tab is the history tab. It would just state you who did what and when. Let me move further into the transactions menu. This is where all the respective transactions associated with your departments would get created. Be it the forwarding transactions, billing, accounting, or sales and service. Under sales and service as well, you can maintain your leads. Any activities performed on those leads can be recorded, or you can directly go and create your quotations as well. This is where your entire list of quotations created till date are available. Quotations highlighted in green have been approved by your customers, whereas the ones in red are rejected. Let me just double click an existing quotation. So this is how the quotation screen looks like. You can define the organization to whom you are quoting, whether this quote can be used multiple times, if any other branches of yours can use the same quotation, the validity dates, and lastly, the movement type. So in this case, it is sea exports, moving from Seattle to Tokyo using American President lines. Another option recorded is using Evergreen Marines. Again, sea exports, Seattle to Tokyo, but Evergreen Marines. Below, you can define your charges and the rates associated with each charge. You can define, for each charge, you can define what is the basis for your calculations, be it per shipment, per package, gross weight container, per vehicle, whatever. If you're saying it as per container, you can state what are the actual rates associated with the respective container type. You can also give minimum or maximum ceiling to it based on your processes, your needs. Post that, you can print the quotation, you can email the quotation to the respective client, or you can just save it, and we can move further into the forwarding section. Under this menu, again, it is nicely segregated into the respective departments: international, domestic, air, ocean, land, import, export. Under each section, let's say air exports or ocean exports, again there are multiple features, as in creation of shipments, creation of consoles, maintenance of the stocks, airwaybill or house airwaybill stocks, your flight schedules, ocean schedules, stuff like that. Under the shipment screen, this is where all your air export shipments created till date are available. On top is the toolbar, where there are these action buttons to add new, modify an existing shipment, delete if the user has the permissions. You can extract the entire list in an Excel sheet, stuff like that. Or you can just double click an existing shipment and we can navigate through the respective screens. So this is how the shipment screen looks like. For ease of data entry, what we have done is we have segregated the data based on their relevance into the respective tabs. So the first tab is the entity tab, where all the legal entities associated with the shipment are available. Data entry is also extremely easy. Let me just remove. So you type in a few characters. So based on that, the system would identify and give you the suggestions, as well as the data would flow once you select it, like the addresses and other details. Let's move into the shipment details. This is where all the shipment level information gets recorded, like your ports, your airwaybill numbers, your dates, airline flight numbers, etc. Again, the salesperson can be mapped to the respective shipment. so that his performance gets measured in the right fashion. If you're applying the quotation, all the details would flow automatically from the quotation. Now that's the beauty of an integrated application. Right from your leads, quotations, shipments, billing, accounting, everything is tightly linked with Logi-Sys, and thus all your data entry is seamless. Goods details, this is where your goods level information gets recorded. Documents tab, this is where all the entire list of documents associated with air export shipment are available. You can select one or multiple documents, and if needed, you can view them, or you can as well as send them as an email. The emails that you're sending also gets recorded, or the shadow record of that email is also available in your Outlook Express. So this is how the airway bill looks like. The standard format. Send mail. Click on it, the document gets attached to send it across to the respective client. Milestone list, this is where the entire list of milestones that you have defined for the air export department are available, wherein it can be recorded, whether it is going as per plan or if it is there any delays, etc. Charges. So if you are applying the quotation, all the charges would flow automatically. Else, you can also initialize those charges from the tariff, carrier tariff, or you can click on new and add those charges manually as well. The next tab is profit and loss here. Under profit and loss, this is where you can view the high level, the profit or loss associated with each charge in terms of an amount as well as in terms of percentage. We would move further into the financials. Under financials, the actual invoice gets recorded. In the charges were entered, but under financials, the accounting records gets entered, as in the tax calculation would happen, if there is any deduction that would take place, and then the final amount would be generated. You click on print to print the invoice. Now this is a standard format of the invoice which is available within the system, but then all these documents like the invoices, the cargo arrival notices, etc., they can be designed as per your requirements as well, with your logo, your details, whatever design you want of the form, we can do that. That is not a problem. Again, send mail option is there. Click on it. The document would get attached. If you have the email addresses recorded within the directories, you can pull them. You can also utilize the email templates. Completely configurable based on your requirement. You can define those email templates. Again, as said earlier, it is linked with the Microsoft Outlook, so a shadow record of this email would also available in your Outlook. All the financial entries, as in based on your chart of accounts, all the journal entries and everything would be recorded automatically at the back end. If needed, on the top side corner, you have the journal entry quick link. You click on it to understand how the transactions, the journal entries have been recorded, what has been debited, what has been credited, such like. The chart of accounts is obviously configurable based on your company's chart of accounts. It would be uploaded. We would move further into the notes section. Under notes section, this is where you can record your notes. If you want to attach any documents supporting those notes, you can do that, no problem. And the last tab is the history tab, which would just state you who did what and when. So that was with the brief regarding the forwarding. We would move into the reports. This is where all your reports, be it your forwarding reports, again forwarding reports have been classified into international, domestic, based on department-wise reports, air, ocean, land, import-export reports, your transport, warehousing, billing reports, unbilled jobs if you want to see, accounting reports, the most important ones, again balance sheet, trial balance, profit loss. All of these reports can further segregated if you want to see comparative profit loss, period-wise profit loss, ARP reports, that is receivable payables. Let's just click on an accounts receivable report as an example. Click on generate. It would give you a view. You can double click on any particular line item, which would give you a detailed view. As an example, Dell. If you click on it, it would show you all the receivable invoices that have been associated with Dell. All these reports can be converted into a PDF document, exported into an Excel sheet, printed. If you want to email it, you can email them. That's the standardization which is available across all the documents. So this was a small overview of the entire application. If needed, you can always reach out to us for a detailed demonstration, which would make it way more easier for you to understand the application. Thank you for your attention.